Today, we're gonna win. We're gonna fight.
Notre Dame stops it. The Irish win the game.
Play with your brothers. You got a great opportunity. Let's go seize the moment. Let's go play.
Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly is presented by Team Notre Dame members Adidas, Gatorade, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Sprint. Inside Notre Dame Football is also brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, Cadillac, CBTS, Xfinity, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sears, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.
You know, we've got to be better technically, fundamentally. We got to coach better. And then when we get opportunities, we got to cash in on them. And we had some key third downs that we weren't able to get off the field, and we had some key opportunities offensively to put points on the board. So we missed our opportunities when we had them and didn't take advantage of them.
Irish head coach Brian Kelly summarizing the things his team needs to fix following Notre Dame's 41-30 loss to now 11th-ranked Michigan on Saturday. Hello again, Irish fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly. I'm Jack Nolan. The focus in meetings and practice this week will be on correcting the mistakes the Irish made against the Wolverines while not losing sight of the things Notre Dame did well in the game, a game that came down to the final 5 minutes.
We're always going to be critical in our analysis, but we're also going to look at the things that we did well. Winning is the most important thing. We didn't get a win, so we're always going to be critical in our analysis and finding out why didn't we win, because that's ultimately the goal, and coming back next week and making sure we get a win.
Maybe I should get that.
Maybe you shouldn't.
Brian Urlacher?
I'm back to defend you from DirecTV's latest offer. With DirecTV, your bill more than doubles after a year.
Not cool.
And they lock you into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000 bucks.
That's a lot of cheese.
That's why the smart play is Xfinity. With the X1 platform, your DVR can record 4 shows while you watch the game live. Go long. Don't get sacked by DirecTV. Oops. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
One more. Let's go, yo.
Go! One more.
One more time. Come on. One more. Let's get it. Let's go.
Proven hydration to help replace what you sweat out.
One championship. Let's go.
One of the most disappointing aspects of Notre Dame's loss to Michigan was the fact the Irish did not tackle nearly as well as we have become accustomed to, especially on Michigan's first touchdown pass of the night.
One of our basic tenets of playing sound football, and look, anywhere, is talking about tackling. And that was poor tackling, uncharacteristic of our defense and what Coach Diaco and the staff preaches, and everybody's disappointed in those kinds of plays. That's not who we are, and immediately we make sure that those guys understand that that's not part of what we teach.
So you fall behind pretty quickly, 10-0. 115,000 people going nuts, and you come back with a very methodical 75-yard scoring drive. One of the big plays, a 22-yard bullet from Tommy over the middle to DeVaris Daniels.
Yeah, we were getting opportunities to get the ball in the seam. We knew that coming in, that it was going to be very important to get into some good looks. Tommy made a check on this play that got us the opportunity to get the ball to Daniels in the seam. Daniels is a big kid. People don't understand how much size that he's put on in the offseason, and when you throw it into the seam, you're definitely going to get hit, and he's not afraid to go over the middle.
Before the season, you said Tommy Rees is a better quarterback. You lose a game like that, he's going to get heat, but I think he's demonstrated in these 2 games that he is a better quarterback.
He is a better quarterback, and there's still room for growth there. I think there's some things that he can do better. The tools that he has within this offense will allow him to continue to grow and get better each and every week. He's had 2 games where we put some points on the board, but feel like we had left some points out there as well.
On that first scoring drive, he finds T.J. Jones for the touchdown. The ball's deflected, and Jones showed great concentration.
He did, and he was in the right position. We're running a very standard route that we have in our system for a number of years. You want to get your hands on it, but again, he's in good position to make a play and come up with a big touchdown.
It was not the best night for your defense, but at times they came through with what you needed, and after that TD, they come through with a 3-and-out, and TJ follows with an 18-yard punt return.
I thought we got a good hold up on the outside. We were able to do some things there, and TJ took the ball up the middle and gave us great field position to start the drive.
Now it's 2013 late in the half, and that is where Tommy turns the ball over. And it was a big one in the game.
No, there's no question. We got to get out of the half there at 2013. You can't throw across your body a level 1 ball, and he knows that. And you know that's a big play in the game, and they're able to cash in and go up 2 scores at the half.
Clearly, Michigan had all the momentum going into the locker room at halftime, but the Irish grabbed the momentum right back at the start of the second half. Coach Kelly will talk about how the Irish did that when we come back.
You like to try new things. Now we have bold new tastes like never before. You like things made by hand. We're now grilling up freshly made egg whites. You like to cool down. We just added a refreshing new smoothie. You get wrapped up in things. We're introducing new delicious ways for you to eat. There's no one quite like you. Now more than ever, there's something for everyone to love at McDonald's. Be in our ad. Go to I'mLovinIt.com.
Customer Aaron Swenson bought from us online today, so I'm happy.
Sales go up, I'm happy.
It went out today, I'm happy.
What if she's not at home?
She won't be happy.
Use UPS. She can get a text alert, reroute, even reschedule a package. It's UPS My Choice.
You happy?
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
I'm happy.
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 I love logistics.
With a 14-point lead and a screaming record sellout crowd on their side, you know Michigan wanted to put the Irish away when the Wolverines got the ball to start the second half. But the Notre Dame defense had a different idea, forcing a punt with the help of Ishaq Williams' first career sack.
Nice sack. It was good. A good twist stunt up front. Stefan really sets up a nice move for him, a pick move that brings Ishaq inside out, get a big sack, and again, a good way to start the third quarter.
12-play, 90-yard drive. Amir Carlisle was big on the drive.
Box looks were clean for us to get some runs. I thought a very well-balanced drive that, again, took a lot of the momentum out of it and gave us an opportunity now to close. And I think everybody felt at that point, we talked at halftime, let's close this thing. First score was going to be very, very important. We were able to get it.
Troy Nicholas had a couple of catches, including the 20-yard touchdown where he showed what he can do when he has to get through guys to get to the end zone.
That's absolutely correct, but I think the throw was a little off target. He had to bend down and catch it. I thought he did a great job as he was falling. He puts his arm down to make sure he doesn't get a knee down and gets into the end zone. It was a very, very big play for us.
27-20, but Michigan responds, and Gowan somehow gets wide open for a big gain.
Play action pass, gets into the curl. We just didn't defend it well. And again, there's a lot of it that's on players. Coaches are responsible as well. We've got to coach better. We've got to play better.
So it's early in the fourth quarter, but your D comes up with another huge play. Austin Collinsworth on the blitz forces Gardner to throw the ball up for grabs, and Stephon Tuitt makes an incredible catch.
It really was. I mean, we weren't sure. You know, you're looking at it, but does a great job of getting his hands underneath the ball, making the catch, and obviously a huge, huge play that our defense is able to force and get us right back in the football game.
Tuitt is a mountain of a man. How many guys that size can make that play?
It's a very athletic play, and you know, stayed active in the play, and you know, Collinsworth gets in there and really forces the play, but look, it's a different game if that's a 2-point safety versus 7 points. So obviously a huge play for us.
The Irish would add a field goal after the Tua touchdown to cut the Michigan lead to 4, but Notre Dame could not score again, and a final Michigan touchdown gave the Wolverines a 41-30 win. There are your final stats presented by UND.com. Notre Dame put up some very good offensive numbers, but the defense on the field for 8 more minutes than the offense could not keep Michigan out of the end zone, with the 41 points allowed, the most ever against a Brian Kelly coached Notre Dame team, and the most since Stanford scored 45 against the Irish in November of 2009. They always tend to get lost in a loss, but there were a number of very good moments for the Irish on Saturday night. For this week's Notre Dame Strong and True moment, presented by ATI Physical Therapy, we take you back to the play that pulled the Irish to within 7 points early in the fourth quarter.
On third down, forced on the puck back in the end zone, going to go down and throw it away. That's intercepted. Touchdown! Touchdown, Notre Dame!
Interception.
After the Michigan game, the Irish players took full responsibility for the loss and acknowledged they need to put in a lot of hard work to correct the mistakes that occurred Saturday night. But the players also know one of the ways to get better is to build on the foundation of the good plays that were made by Notre Dame in the game.
There's always positive you can take from a game, especially when you get back to school and get to watch the film. There's negative plays all the time that happen in a game, and those negative plays can be corrected for the next week. So there's a lot of things that we can learn from this loss to better ourselves for next week in Purdue.
We did a lot of good things as a team. We competed in a hostile environment, one of the toughest places to play in. There were times where we pushed together as a team. There's a lot of new guys playing, and I think we got glimpses of kind of what it feels like to kind of lean on each other in those situations.
However, in the big picture, losing is never a positive. Coach Kelly made it very clear after the game that competing well on the road against a nationally ranked opponent is no longer nearly enough for Notre Dame. Winning is now always the only acceptable goal. The team's captains believe there are plenty of leaders in this year's senior class to direct the Irish back to the right track.
We have a lot of experience. We have a lot of leaders, a lot of guys who can help kind of bring along the newer, inexperienced players in our offense and defense. And it just kind of helps kind of mold the team together where everyone's kind of learning from everyone.
We have to go back as a senior class and as leaders and get the guys together and come to work on Monday. Coach made his message loud and clear, and it's up to us to respond to that.
After 2 games, TJ Jones has become Tommy Rees's go-to and most reliable receiver with 15 catches for 232 yards. He has already set career highs for number of catches in a game and receiving yards in a game. Coming up, we will show you one of the things Jones did over the summer to help him get ready to dive into the teeth of opposing defenses.
You wait all year for summer. This summer was definitely worth the wait. Summer's best event from Cadillac. Let summer try and pass you by. Lease this all-new Cadillac ATS for around $299 per month, or purchase for 0% APR for 60 months. The best offers of the model year end September 3rd.
Can I help you?
Excuse me, hi. I wanted to find out about the Unlimited for Life guarantee.
Sure. Sprint is guaranteeing unlimited talk, text, and data for life.
Cool. And what if, say, technically you were not alive? Like, maybe you were undead?
Like a zombie.
Whoa, let's not go putting labels on people. I'm a zombie.
Switch to Sprint and get unlimited for life. And now, save up to $100 on any phone.
One of the big reasons young men come to Notre Dame to play football are the doors they know a Notre Dame degree will open for them after graduation. Senior captain TJ Jones found out this summer that attending Notre Dame can open doors even before you graduate, and in his case, it was the door of a shark cage.
When I was about 10 years old, my father and my mother took us all to SeaWorld for a family vacation, and we went to the Shamu show. And ever since then, I've had a weird fascination with it, a love for the water, for aquatic animals, for not knowing, what's in the water. We haven't explored nearly half of the ocean on this earth. And that unknown is kind of what sparked my interest a lot. And for the longest, I kind of put it to the side. And then I don't know what kind of changed, but I chose to pursue it, and I contacted Reggie Brooks to see if we had any connections in that field to where I could contact them and set up a job shadow. They take you through the history of sharks, kind of the structure of the shark's body. They show you videos to kind of help those who are a little anxious get more comfortable with the fact that you're going to be in a shark tank soon. And then after about probably an hour and a half of being there, that's when I started to suit up. When you first jump in, they actually put you in a shark cage to kind of get you, I guess, used to being in the water around the sharks, but not necessarily. You still have that barrier, so you don't have to worry. I was just kind of like a kid in the toy store, just looking around, kind of, this is really happening, kind of a little too excited for the experience. You got to kind of see the aquarium from different perspectives. You got to see how, the fish, they had eels, the turtles, the sharks, how they kind of interact in their environment. You get to see how they kind of just swim around and kind of chill, and they're not as violent, and they're not as, I guess, ferocious as everybody thinks. It was cool to see, how that side of it works, to see how those people feel that, when you interact with those people are kind of like, wow, he's really in a shark tank. Them interacting with you is kind of fun. It's almost like a form of entertainment in a way, because you're doing something that they thought never happened, or that they would never see themselves doing. There's definitely a physical aspect to diving. I felt this more during my dive certification, where we were spending 4 to 5 hours in water a day. It's a workout. You burn calories. If you're not properly hydrated, you cramp up. Although you're underwater and you feel weightless, after 30, 45 minutes of kicking around with that big tank on your back and against the water currents, it's definitely physically tough on your body. Notre Dame opens a lot of doors, and from really my junior year, where I started to network more, I've seen it, and this is a great example. Without this Notre Dame degree, I don't know how easy it would have been to get this job shadow. Nowadays, I think the average pro career is 3 years for any position. I understand football is, my priority right now. My NFL career is something I definitely want to pursue, but at the same time, you don't know what could happen. Knowing, wow, this is, really what I wanted to do. This is all and more of what I expected it to be. My experience through this first dive alone solidified the fact that, this is what I want to do. So it was a good, comforting feeling coming out the water, knowing, I could see myself doing this years down the road.
After diving with sharks, TJ Jones will not think twice about going over the middle to catch a pass this season. We'd like to thank our friends at the Florida Aquarium in Tampa for providing much of the video in that report. Sophomore Sheldon Day is a rising star in the Irish defensive line. After playing in all 13 games last season, he has made his first 2 career starts this season and collected 2 tackles Saturday against Michigan. Now it's time for Sheldon to take his turn sitting on the inside Notre Dame Football 60-second hot seat. Player on the team most like you?
Tyler Stockton.
First car you ever drove?
2006 Toyota Camry.
Favorite musical group or artist?
Notorious B.I.G.
Do you have a celebrity crush?
Megan Good.
Favorite breakfast meal?
Pops.
Get up early or sleep in?
Sleep in.
Best nickname on the team and who has it?
Louis Nix, Irish Chocolate.
Best player to room with on the road?
Tyler Stockton.
One thing you always hear from Coach Kelly in practice?
Tag it off.
First thing that comes to mind when you think about Camp Shiloh?
Exciting.
Climbing wall or zip line?
Zip line.
Toughest player to tackle on the team?
Greg Bryant.
Best singer on the team?
Kona Schwenke.
Best dancer on the team?
Sheldon Day.
Best comedian on the team?
Tyler Stockton.
Best dresser on the team?
Daniel Smith.
Worst dresser on the team?
Tyler Stockton.
Best thing about playing for Notre Dame?
Golden Dome.
Sheldon Day, you've completed 60 seconds in Inside Notre Dame Football. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everything's gonna be fine.
I know. I just worry.
I'm sure middle school is gonna be no big deal.
I hope so.
From pencils to notebooks, backpacks to fashion, get everything for back to school at low Meyer prices. Even something for your favorite teacher.
You'll do great, Mom.
Meyer makes back to school even better.
Notre Dame Federal Credit Union is kicking off the summer months with auto loan rates as low as 2.34% APR. Plus, when you get your auto loan at Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, you'll receive $100 cash. Not in the market for a new car? Just bring your existing auto loan from another financial institution, and we'll give you $100. Hurry, this offer won't last long. Apply today. Call, visit a branch, or apply online. Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. Become part of our growing community where rates are low and our members are happy.
And it's time now for this week's Ask Coach Kelly question, presented by our good friends at CBTS. This week's question comes all the way from Eugene, Oregon, in the person of Kevin McCarthy. Kevin asks, Coach, when do you start scouting an opponent on your schedule?
Well, scouting is about film, and those films are exchanged now digitally weeks in advance. So we have film sometimes in the summer. So we usually look at our first 3 opponents, sometimes our first 4 opponents. We have game plans and scouting reports for our first 2, but we've already looked at Purdue, we've already looked at Oklahoma in some fashion, but in terms of getting down to the details, we'll look at Purdue mostly today and start to get the game plan and all of the things necessary for our scouting report done tonight.
If you would like to send in a question for Coach Kelly, all you have to do is log on to UND.com and click on Ask Coach Kelly in the rotating boxes in the middle of the main page. Plus, you can also find the Ask Coach Kelly box on the UND.com football page. Up next for Notre Dame, another tough road game in a hostile environment. Notre Dame will take on Purdue Saturday night in West Lafayette, and Coach Kelly is expecting the Boilermakers' best effort.
This is a tough game. You go on the road, you got to will yourself sometimes, and we've got to see that show itself against Purdue on the road, because it's going to be a battle again. You know, state of Indiana, 2 teams. You know, they're looking for the big win. New head coach. This is going to be their mark for their head coach to get after Notre Dame. So we got to take care of ourselves. I mean, Purdue is Purdue, and we respect their program and what they're doing, but we got enough that we have to handle here in the way we prepare.
Notre Dame has won the last 5 games with Purdue, a streak you know the Boilermakers want to end and the Irish want to extend. We, of course, will have all the highlights of the 85th meeting between Notre Dame and Purdue on next week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Football. Until then, thanks again so much for watching, and as always, go Irish. Inside Notre Dame Football with Brian Kelly has been presented by Team Notre Dame members Adidas, Gatorade, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, and Sprint. Inside Notre Dame Football has also been brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, Cadillac, CBTS, Xfinity, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sears, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.